Welcome in to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. As we can see based on the charts in this morning's update, we do have a little bit of volatility this morning. We've got DGB up 3.6%. We've got a few other cryptos up 2 to 3%. We've got XRP right now up 0.61%. XLM's up 1.6%. But the main thing we notice with XRP is it remains below that very critical resistance line at 58 cents. We need to push back not just above 58 cents to invalidate this drop down to 53 or even 50 cents. But we need to push up and over the 608 after we get back above 58 cents. And then ultimately back above 62 cents to try to invalidate this bearish movement. So our first level of resistance right now is up at 58 cents. And then after that, we kind of go based on different charts now. And as we can see here, this is a very important level right here at this 58 cent mark. If we can't get over this 58 cent mark, this is a very big bearish confirmation here. And this is exactly what I'm speaking of right here. This is either going to try to pull up into some kind of reversal pattern here, or it's coming up for an obvious rejection. We've had a death cross in the 4-hourly. And if we get rejected right now in current times, that's 582. So if 58.2 cents gets rejected on this push up, this is a very bearish proposition. If we can come up here and try to push back over, our first real level is actually now that we've come across, and if we start to analyze this, we need to get over that 62 cent level. Let's just not sugarcoat it. 62 cents. We need to get back over that. First level is 58.2. Then there's a mid-tier resistance in between the two of those. We've also got this pattern formation that we've actually come outside the apex zone, and it's suggesting a bigger drop here. So we need to come up and back in this point and get back above that 609 level. So you've got resistance 1 at 582, resistance 2 right at about 609, and resistance 3 at 62 cents roughly. So we've got a myriad of resistance here, and that's an issue. So XRP, to get back above, we're going to have to push through these resistance levels. There's no reason to even look at any of the other ones unless we can get past this key level here. So, and this is another one. This is another area right here, as we talk about that 62. This is another one up here at 64.2. To invalidate the head and shoulders pattern, you got to be on the top side of that. So this seems to be suggesting, or it seems to be pushing down perfectly to our support areas. I don't think there's any way to sugarcoat this. We've broken outside of this. Now in order for us to invalidate this short structure down to 53.7, we've got to at least get back above 582 and start pushing up. Because the 4-hourly, we know we have the death cross. The daily, we're trying to hold the 200, but we're below. So again, this isn't looking exactly the most bullish that it could look. This looks like it's finishing the rounding of this pattern. And this suggests it comes down to the bottom of the handle around 50 cents. 49.5, 50 cent area. So if we're looking at it open and obvious with XRP, yes, we're getting a little bit of a rally back up. But that 582 resistance, we're going to have to come back up there one way or another and see how bearish we are. So that could be what we're retesting right now. Bitcoin's at a very big resistance level at 66,600. That's a big resistance level. And if you can get past that, then we can start. And it's a pivot point, pivot level. So even though we're back within this formation, 66,600 is very interesting from before. But as far as this pattern goes, our support right now, 65,200 approximately. Actually about 65,100. And then the resistance, you got pivot point resistance at 67,381, which is where we could be looking for a rejection. And then up at the top of this formation is right around 70,630. So that's the wideness of this pattern. If we break down out of this formation and we can't have any positive momentum, the technical target on a breakdown here for Bitcoin is right around 57,000. And this is actually a beautiful retest because it'll retest the broadening wedge breakout as support for the first time as to where it was being used as resistance till it broke out. We've never back tested it yet. So if we did continue to come down, you could certainly see that scenario. But I also watch out for this just in case this is setting up in a weird flag or something, because it hasn't technically broken down. And until it breaks down, what is going on? Until it breaks down, this pattern is still set up. It's just, oh man, this is really, it deleted my little thing right here. But until this breaks down, it's actually really nicely set up for what we're talking about. I mean, it could perfectly set up. That's the broadening wedge retest. Let me switch the colors so that it looks normal. But that's the retest right there. So even if we're bearish, it would behoove us not to come down and at least retest that area. That's what it looks like to me. So let's see if it does in fact retest that broadening wedge resistance as support. And then we can start getting up on our way here. But that would be a beautiful retest there. Just absolutely beautiful. So and it seems to be lining up with that 57,000. So let's pay attention to that. As far as the XRP Bitcoin pairing on a non-linear chart, this is what we're looking at. We're still below this consolidatory support. So if we did break down and we can't get back above 874, it's given us a technical move down to 709. So this is very, very, very interesting if this continues to break down. If it were to break up, you could come up to 1099 on the exact same push up. So if it doesn't happen to the downside, you're going to have the same, it's going to be the same movement. So the same movement that doesn't go down, you'll have the same exact movement to the top side. And then it'll give you your exact measurement. But right now it looks more bearish than bullish. We're still trying to push up in the relative strength index, but the fact we've gone above 50 now, and even, yeah, it's just, we're getting more into an overbought scenario, but not quite fulfilling the significance of being oversold or overbought. So we haven't completely finished it out. So there still seems to be some room left to the downside. The XRP market cap, even this is suggesting that we have more continuation. If this 200-day is lost in the daily, which is right around 31.2 billion. Our technical target could be as low as 22.657 billion. And that's breaking down out of the rising channel. You don't break up, you break down, and you have the exact same movement as you would have had to the top side. So we're going to have to pay attention to this very closely for the next few days. XLM has also fallen back within a momentum here, or fallen back within the formation. Our first area of support, if we lose the 122, so if we lose 12.2 cents, first area of support is coming back down here at 11 cents. And then if you bust this, you've got support here right around 8.6, and the technical target of this drop down is technically around 7 cents. So we're going to see if this has the reversal in it. And is this like an M-topping reversal? Is this a head and shoulders? Well, only time will tell, but if we lose the 200-day support here, that's where you know things are going horribly wrong. DGB this morning's up 2.69%. I wouldn't get too excited, up to 1.6 cents. This is still working on the correction right now, and it looks like it's got to come down a little bit farther. Even if it's bullish, it looks like it's going to want to come down and retest this formation as support here. So I'm anticipating a continuation down to about the 138 level for DGB. So pay attention to that. XDC could not break up. It's trying to put in some kind of handle, but it did not break up. It came below that support at 491. And we speculated if it was going to break up, it had to take the up route. Now it could come back and backtest. See this huge formation? There's a chance that this could backtest all the way down to 3534 area. So got to be careful with XDC if it were to come down to that level. But just understand that if we further extend this out, that was a short pattern that it broke to the top side of. And if we start to break this out, it's going to have to break through a pattern formation like this before you could even say, oh, this is coming down to that 3.4 or 3.5 level. It would have to come through this. Not saying it can't, because obviously it can. But this is basically what we're looking at right now. We're being squeezed. So if you're a fan of XLM, pay attention to this, as it seems like we're being fully squeezed here. And we just can't get over that uptrending resistance right now. So we got to get back above 491 to stay in the positive territory. So that's pretty much going through all the technical analysis I wanted to start. I just wanted to fly through that very quickly. show everybody the observation, or at least the impotence this morning on how we're looking a little bearish, but we look to be pushing up towards these resistance barriers. So even if we are bearish, it looks like a few percent could be added on here. We know 58.2 is the first resistance of XRP. You break above that, and then we'll start talking about these areas. We have 58.2, and then up here is a big resistance at 618. That's a huge resistance, actually about 62 we could say. We'll just say 62, even though it's around 618, but 62 cents we got to get back over. So pay attention to that this morning. And then obviously if we get back over 62, we've got to get back over the 64.2 cents. That's the head and shoulders resistance right now. Anything short of that, and it already looks like it's pulling down. So I'm not even sure how much opportunity there is there. We've got the 200-day right around 58 cents. So just being below that is telling us the continuation of the downside is still on, and we're bearish this morning. At least until we break past these pertinent levels here. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this update. It would greatly, greatly help me push this content around. By you hitting that like button and YouTube recommending this update, by others scrolling through their YouTube feeds this morning, my content will pop up, whether it's an older viewer or new viewer alike. It'll pop up through their algorithm, which means when they're going through their YouTube news feeds or the feed, by the recommending my video, everybody will see it who's searching, and it'll have more of a likelihood of coming here. If you appreciate my work, hit that subscribe button and join the over 21,200 subscribers. As it is the start of a new month, if you do appreciate and want to go above and beyond, consider joining Tom's Army or sending one YouTube super chat per month is all I ask if you want to show personal support above and beyond. And then if you're looking to trade XRP, especially in the USA, look in the video description below and or pinned comment. We've got BITUNIX. They have no spot, or they have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. You don't need to use a KYC, so you don't feel like a criminal trying to trade XRP. And then if you're trading from exchange to exchange or sending off to another exchange, you don't even have to do a KYC. So take advantage of that. They're up during high times of volatility. It's always good to have money set to the side for when we start to pump. And this morning, I would 100% anticipate a retest up to 58.2 cents. And then ultimately, it might make a run up to that 618 or 62 cents to see how bearish we are. But first things first, you would have to get above 582 to invalidate this current short-term thesis. Otherwise, the 200-day and the daily is going to continue pushing us down. And first target's 53.6 cents. Second target's right around 49.8 cents at the bottom of the handle support. So that's what we're looking at through the technical analysis. Now let's get into some of our reading. So XRP news today. Ripple legal officer fires back at SEC, sparks debate. So I don't even know if I've done the intro, but let me do the intro. Good morning. 8:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, April 4th, 2024. I'm XRP future millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I might have done two intros. I don't know. So XRP news today. Ripple legal officer fires back at SEC, sparks debate. And then we're going to finish with this. XRP price touches 4-week low at 56 cents, while Ripple CLO condemns SEC director statements. So let's read through this. So on Wednesday, XRP declined by 2.01%, followed by a 4.27% slide on Tuesday. XRP ended the session at 57.4 cents. Uncertainty about the SEC versus Ripple case lingered. There were no SEC versus Ripple case-related activities for investors to consider on Wednesday. Nonetheless, the SEC and recent courtroom news remained a hot topic of discussion. On Wednesday, Ripple Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderodi reacted to comments from SEC Director Gruber Gruhl, saying, Director Gruhl says the Crypto Enforcement Unit acts with integrity, but ignores the debt box sanctions for gross abuse of power. The Ripple judge's admonishment for lack of faithful allegiance to the law and the arbitrary and capricious finding in the Grayscale case. Alderodi highlighted the key July 2023 programmatic sales of XRP ruling, adding, on the substance he cites one portion of the Ripple ruling but ignores that the SEC lost or gave up on most of its claims in the case, including the court's rejection of the SEC's assertion that XRP was in and of itself a security. Alderodi targeted the SEC's approach to crypto regulatory guidance and creation of confusion before concluding, if this agency wants to honestly repair the institutional damage inflicted both to itself and the industry, over the last many years in this misguided war on crypto, it needs to get off its soapbox and own up to these truths. The targeted comments about the SEC demonstrated frustration within the U.S. crypto community. A lack of U.S. crypto regulatory framework allows the SEC to regulate through enforcement. Significantly, the lack of appropriate guidelines beyond the Howey test enables the SEC to target crypto firms. U.S. lawmakers remain silent despite the increasing judiciary scrutiny of the SEC. There has been no apparent follow-up to a co-signed letter to the SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Senator Cynthia Lummis co-signed a letter to the SEC Chair Gary Gensler threatening scrutiny of SEC enforcement cases in response to the SEC versus Dropbox court order. In March, Judge Robert Shelby denied the SEC motion to dismiss charges the SEC filed against Dropbox. The SEC filed the motion to dismiss after Judge Shelby ordered the SEC to show cause why the court should not sanction the SEC for making false and misleading representation to the courts. U.S. lawmakers also gave no reaction to news of the Office of Inspector General IG investigating reports of crypto conflicts of interest within the SEC. The outcome of the IG investigation and further action from Judge Shelby could force lawmakers to act. XRP hovered below the 50-day and 200-day EMA, sending bearish price signals according to the technical indicators. An XRP move through the 200-day EMA would give the bulls a run at the 50-day EMA to break above the EMA, would support a move toward the 66.09 resistance level. SC activity and SC versus crypto-related news needs investor considerations. Conversely, a break below 0.5740 support level could give the bears at the run at the trend line. The 14-day RSI reading of 42.1 indicates XRP dropped to the trend line before entering oversold territory. On the 4-hourly, XRP sat well below the 50 and 200-day EMAs. The EMAs affirmed the bearish price signals. Significantly, the 50-day EMA crossed through the 200-day EMA on Wednesday, a bearish price signal. An XRP price move to the 60-cent handle would bring the 50-day and 200-day EMAs into play. A break above the 200-day EMA could signal an XRP price towards the 66.09 resistance level. However, a fall through the 57.4 cent support level bring the trend into play. The 4-hourly RSI with the reading of 33.65 suggests XRP fall through 57.40 support level before entering oversold territory. So looking pretty bearish here through indicators. And then I wanted to read the fact that the XRP price touches 4-week low. And we already talked about the Ripple CLO condemning SEC director statements. But I want to read more about the 4-week low. XRP's price fell to a monthly low of 56.2 cents on Thursday, extending losses for a 4th consecutive session. So we're only going to focus on the Ripple XRP price action because we already read about the director. So Ripple XRP price is in a downtrend this week, hitting monthly lows at 56.2 cents. On Thursday, amid a broader correction in major cryptocurrency assets and as the legal battle between Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, keeps both sides confronted about what should be the status of crypto assets in financial markets. So, Chief Legal Officer CLO Stuart Elderody on Thursday called out SEC's director, Gruber Gruel, for his comments over crypto firms and their non-compliance. The director commented on the regulators' lawsuits against cryptocurrency entities like Ripple at a 2-day event by the Practicing Law Institute. So, we already know about the stuff by Gruber, so I want to go to the technical analysis. So, XRP price falls for a 4th consecutive day. XRP price likely bottomed out. I don't know about that. Dropping to a low of 56.2 cents on Thursday, the Altcoin's Relative Strength Index, RSI, on 4-hourly chart has dropped to 28.62 early on Thursday before recovering to 30.91. The RSI drop to the oversold region is typically considered a buy signal for sideline traders. In other words, the current price could offer traders an opportunity to buy the dip before the altcoin begins its recovery. XRP price could make a comeback to fair value gap, FVG, between 60.3 and 61 cents on the 4-hour chart. Once the inefficiency is filled, the altcoin could see another correction or liquidity sweep below the 56.78, a level that has held support throughout March. So, in the downside scenario, XRP could see a daily candlestick close below the 5623 level and continue to decline toward 53.86, a level that was respected as support throughout March. That's a very significant support level at 53.8, and if that falls, you hit the handle support at 49.8 cents. Please make sure to hit that like button this morning. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. If you appreciate my work, consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure to like it so YouTube recommends this update. Other than that, pay very close attention to what I've put out this morning. Have a blessed morning, and I'm going to release this so everybody can see it. Hashtag be better, do better in the comments if you made it till the end.